thank you, sir. First of all, I'd like to very interesting, conversation and ideas that we've heard through. In fact, ever since I said yesterday, yes, I would like, I've been trying to understand the depth of the topic because it really is a very, very deep topic. And as both Aravind and Vaibhavi said, and so does the NEP. If we look at the vision of the NEP is also to create a society, which has values, ethics, and is peace loving. And that is what both Mr. Arvind and Ms. Vaibhavi spoke about. So where does the role, how do we create people? That is what we were talking about, who understand their actions. You know, they're not responding to me, but they just don't kind of spark off. But before they do anything, they understand what they are doing. And as again, where this said, that critical thinking is extremely important. It is something that we must compel our children to do and not thinking on the surface. We all spoke about perspectives, how important it is for a child to hear perspectives. And then, once again, using mythology, for example, to get children, like stories, as she said, there is nobody in this world who doesn't enjoy a good story. It's a very powerful tool for teaching and also a very powerful tool, as both of you said, to help children to start thinking. Because once children start thinking critically on an issue, even if in a class we spark a discussion on the Mahabharat, the war over there, and what is happening between Israel and the Gaza Strip right now. It helps children to get deeper into understanding why do wars happen? Do they have to happen? Because that is the goal of education: peace, a good value system, respect for each other. So, drawing these parallels is very important. I am a counselor, and parents should come to me. She's our only daughter. We are doing whatever she wants. She wants tennis. She must learn tennis. She must learn piano. She must, like parents these days with a single child are driving children mad. Right. So I use this analogy from the Mahabharata with the parent to help him think. As it's Draupadi wanted the ideal husband, who would be brave, who would be compassionate, who would be X, Y, Z. What did she have to do? She had to marry 5 men. You have one child who should be a shooter also, who should be a musician also. So this kind of drawing things from the Mahabharata, right, for parents also, for anyone, I have found it a very helpful thing to help people to start thinking. It's extremely important. And then, as both of you said, it's very, very important. And talking about the young gentleman, I think he also appreciates the fact that mythology can easily be integrated into the classroom. For example, all management colleges use the Mahabharata to teach management to students. The stories of Chanakya and his administrative systems, right? That can also be used to talk about when we are talking about civics, you know, stories about Ashoka and Akbar when we are teaching children about how do we govern people. So there is a lot I think as teachers, we should all start when we make a lesson plan, instead of opening the textbook and starting from the point where the chapter has been written by someone, I fall back on my own understanding, my own knowledge, and even if I don't have it, there is plenty available around. And here I would endorse the young gentleman. Personally, as a teacher and administrator, I have found ChatGPT to be a very powerful tool to help me to start thinking. It's like having a conversation between two people. And I can say anything to ChatGPT without wondering whether I'm offending ChatGPT or not. I don't need to worry about. So I think I'll end on that note. It was a lovely, uh, you know, whole thing that we spoke about drawing our mythology into the classrooms when we are teaching children, right? And metaphors also are very, very powerful too. I agree with sir. Language you know, is not important anymore for children. My own grandson who reads these books, I don't think these are these comic books, he was asked, he's in class 3 and he was asked to write how he got up out of a difficult situation. So everything was written like a comic for him. And so we found the push button and the lift, brackets, great, intelligent, exclamation mark. So the teacher had put a sad face at the end of the write-up saying that he didn't like it. But this is what they are reading these days, you know. And he said, it doesn't bother me. She doesn't have to like what she has. I just, the last thing I wanted to share was that recently I was at a design college, and the whole world is feeling so threatened with AI coming in. AI will be designing, and AI will be doing this, that, and the thing. So the professor over there just took us through, he says designing is not about the product. It is about meeting the requirements of the user. And that requirement of the user is something that, students will have to think, or the people who are designing will have to think about it. That is what it was. So I honestly feel, yes, everything new is very, very tough, but very rightly said by both our speakers today, is that there are ways to work out, we have a very rich, there are the Panchtantra stories also that we can fall back on. Where we have a very rich heritage of literature and culture that we can use. It's just a matter of us as educators, knowing more about it and then just bringing it in and weaving it into our curriculum. Thank you so much.